Alright, hello, my name is Joshua Lionel Cohen. I'm the CEO of Lionel Electric Trains, corporation based here in New York City. I was born in New York, in August 25th, 1877, and I was born to a Jewish family. I was the youngest of 8 kids, and I always wanted to be an inventor. My first patent for my very first invention wasn't even a train. It was a little igniter for the photographer's flashlight. My first electric train was made in 1901, and it was just a small cigar box that I put a small electric motor on. And it wasn't even for actually public use. It was made for displays in the store windows to bring attention to people and have them come buy the normal toys. This letter I'm about to read to you is to my brother. He helped me start my business, and I was talking to him about visiting the Marklin factory in Germany. Okay, so March 6, 1901. Harry, I did it. I have been inside. How, you ask? Let's just say that if you were to see a gentleman dressed in a blue suit with a clipboard walking your way, and he told you he was a personal inspector for Emperor Wilhelm II, and he demanded he should be shown all operations of your business at once, or everyone in the company would be fired, you'll let him in. I did not believe that it would work, but it did, Harry. I have so much to show and discuss with you. For starters, so you believe that I have done what I have written. Here is a picture I took from one of the work areas that show the variety of models, including ships that Marklin is producing. And here are some designs for some electric train sets. Yes, you have read correctly. They had began to make train sets that use electricity as a power source. We are still producing a single engine, but we can learn from marketing and have a string of parts for our engine to pull. I know they are of European descent, but the motor assembly, some even with live steam that actually work like the real counterparts, and track design could be applied to our American prototypes. I also have learned that Marklin has adopted a standard gauge, thus simplifying their production of their models. I am off to my relative's house for a few days, and thus this will be my last letter, and we shall talk again when I return to Manhattan. Very sincerely, Joshua. After my visit to the factory, my brother and I started working and producing the standard of the world. We created the 3-rail track system like you see here, and which provided a better connection for the trains, which gave them more ability to work properly. As the 20s began, houses started getting smaller and less people were buying our large standard gauge, so we had to downsize to the O gauge that you see right here. Then throughout the Great Depression, sales diminished due to the lack of income that average American families were making, and since our prices were pretty much for the wealthy, people weren't buying our trains, so we were starting to lose profits. But then it took a mouse game car to bring us out, and yes, it was Mickey Mouse. We survived the Great Depression, thankfully, and we bought out the Ives Company and expanded our business. But then World War II started, and then we had to start making small parts for the watches and the guns. And then during the post-war era, which is now, Lionel has expanded tremendously. Our greatest sellers are accessories like our Lionel Gateman, our water tower, a lamp, and our floodlight tower. You get a standard set, and you can buy our large transformers to include 4 trains to work at once, and you can buy more cars to add to your Lionel Empire.